Joe's own party now wants him to throw in the towel and surrender the presidency after a single 90-minute performance. They want Crooked Joe out of the race. Tonight, I'm officially offering Joe the chance to redeem himself in front of the entire world.
More and more ditching Joe and co. The nonpartisan Cook Political Report shifting 6 states towards Trump in their latest electoral college rating system.
That includes 3 swing states, Arizona, Georgia, and Nevada, moving from toss-up to lean Republican.
And in the midst of the party's disorder, Democrats are urging Biden to salvage what he can and, most importantly, stop taking New York for granted as the president's lead shrinks to just 8 points in the progressive stronghold. Here now, live in studio, the wonderful, the fabulous Fox News contributor, Tammy Bruce.
Hello.
So, Tammy, there's all this conversation about Joe Biden getting out. They had a primary.
Yeah,
they say they care about democracy.
Right.
Joe Biden won the primary. Why are we having this conversation?
Yeah, well, you know, we wouldn't be if Donald Trump had been appropriately kneecapped.
Right.
If he was laying on the floor and they were dragging him to jail, everything would be fine. Biden would be doing algebra while doing cartwheels. He'd be the smartest man on earth. But no, that plan failed. And so now it's reality. But this is where it's very strange. You don't have this. It reveals how they take for granted and don't care about our system. The fact is that elections occurred. And they might not like the result. The fact is he is the president. I mean, we saw that election in 2020. 81 million votes. How is that you're going to shuffle that guy off to the side door because some elites just decided that he's like not making it anymore and maybe will lose? That's called democracy. You have elections. People compete and you either win or you lose. You don't get to switch somebody out. Even in Monopoly, you don't get to do that.
No.
You can't do it. And yet they're moving along like this is just a normal kind of thing. And obviously we know if their plan with Trump had worked, it's not about Biden's mental situation. It was the same in 2020. They would be fine with him right now. And this is why the Bidens should be furious, because they're looking around saying, we made a deal. You were going to protect us. You've known what his situation is. We know what is going on here. Why now are we the bad guys? And I like that he's saying nope, because he has nothing to lose at this point. If he's out of office, he is vulnerable, and so is the rest of his family. This was to save himself and his family, and now they're saying, oh, just get out. It's a remarkable display for the American people. It's certainly not democratic, to say the least. But it could lead, I hope, to a humiliating failure in November so this country can unite and get back on her feet.
Left-wing media, donors, Democrats, small and big, there can't be enough humiliation. Speaking of which, ho, media, and now Hollywood donors are turning their backs on Biden in a perfect storm just 25 days after hosting a fundraiser for the big guy. Actor George Clooney now comes out against Biden in a New York Times column titled, "I love Joe Biden, but we need a new nominee."
Aww.
Our own Hillary Vaughn was on Capitol Hill earlier today pressing Democrats about the Ocean's 11 star's timely switch-up.
I appreciate hearing Mr. Clooney's opinion, and we'll continue to deal with this within our Democratic family to make sure that we beat Donald Trump.
George Clooney is a movie producer. He needs to produce movies.
He said the guy he saw at the fundraiser, same guy he saw on the debate stage. So if Clooney has concerns about President Biden's mental fitness, do you?
I don't have concerns.
So George Clooney, you almost have to read this entire piece. He was perfectly aware of Biden's impairment, agedness, addledness before the debate. Then that was the one where Obama had to grab him by the arm, and then the White House said, oh, those are cheap fakes. You're making up. It's misinformation. Clooney is part of the cover-up. And it only started when everybody else, meaning the public, found out, and it meant that Biden might lose to Trump. What vacant, vacuous, craven people they are.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody really found out. It was, like in the movies, a suspension of disbelief. We were asked to, and we went along with it. Not us, of course, but various people. If you watch Fox Business, you watch Fox News, you were informed. And of course, these networks were excoriated for thinking and talking about the mental health and the physical health of the leader of the free world, God forbid. And so you were informed if you were watching this network. But people knew. And it was like, well, whatever it is for the cause was getting rid of Trump, who would actually set people free, and we can't have that. And so I think that this is the key, is that it wasn't really about realizing it. It was the opportunity. It was the excuse when the polls, but even with all the indictments separate from then the Supreme Court decisions and everything else, when it was clear the American people were not going to be schmucks again. We're not that way. We're still a young country, and we're revolutionaries, and we don't like being taken for granted. Ask the British. And so we're like, you're not going to do this to us. It's our families dying in Afghanistan. It's our loved ones being still held hostage in Israel, Americans, and nobody mentions their names. It's us. We're the ones who suffer. And it's enough is enough. So finally, it was like, oh, that's the excuse now. But the fact is that they knew, and it was the numbers. They simply want to switch him out because he can't win. This is a life lesson. That's why lies never work. It may take a while, but they pile on, and it's a house of cards, and it will collapse. And they just thought if they could just squeak it through a little bit more, they would win, and they were wrong.
Clooney saw his incompetence and said nothing.
That's
when
correct.
America saw the incompetence, then he's like, oh, I'm going to tell everyone he should get out. And the big thing here is they saw the polling. In the polling, he's dropping. He can't win, and that's why they're telling him to get out, not because he's incompetent.
They can't even stand. They don't even stand for something. It's like looking at the list of like what other people listen to when you're getting your list, or what other people have bought, and then you buy that. It doesn't even matter. They stand for nothing. So if your favorite star tells you something, they don't know better. They're doing it because they're told to do it.
Yeah, who told him is the question.
Who told him? Barack Obama's my guess.
maybe.
Oh, yeah.
BHO.
Tammy Bruce, always a pleasure to see you. Thanks
I never
for
have
being
an
with us.
opinion, so thank you for asking
Love
me.
you much.